Ary took a breath and stepped into the world beyond. There was so much green. A vast sea of plants sprawled before her, 1,000 times larger than the mushrooms Ary had once scaled. They swept upward toward an impossible blue sky, canopies rustling like old shroom paper. And the air moved, curling around her, bringing with it the scent of grass, sunlight, and something sour. Heat beat down on her, accompanied by a bone-shaking hum of insects and rustling grasses. Gran, thought Ary. I wish you could see this. The citizens of Terra had not moved. Some held themselves tightly, wing stubs twitching uneasily as they looked longingly at the pile of glass. Ary peered down. Far below, soft-petaled plants swayed lazily in the breeze. Said Owl. How are we going to get down? Ary inched closer. If only she could fly. She pushed the thought away. Sootflank, Shrimp, do you think you can climb the walls? The newt and the pillbug slipped over the edge, testing their grip. We can each safely take one of you, Sootflank said, one wary eye on the ground below. One of you will have to stay behind. Behind him, Briar snorted. Before Ary could stop her, the fairy girl strolled to the edge of the windowsill and flung herself into the open air. For a terrible, heart-stopping moment, Ary could only watch as Briar hurtled toward the ground, her dark hair snapping behind her. And then, suddenly, Briar straightened. Her wings flared, her body twisted, and she was flying. The air! Briar cried, her voice ringing through the air in clear, delighted peals. It moves! After a lifetime in a windless, dark terrarium, it must have felt like a miracle to fly. Ary's hands drifted to her own shoulder blades. Unlike all the adults in Terra, her wings had not been sliced from her back and ground into fairy dust, but she was flightless all the same. Where Ary's wings ought to have been, only a ghostly skeleton remained. They caught no breeze, stirred no air. Yet in them, Ary felt a phantom ache. Gran had not been the only thing she'd lost when she shattered the terrarium. Show off, Owl muttered. Ary hid her grimace and cupped her hands over her mouth. Briar, what do you see? Briar twirled in the air, gave Ary a thumbs up, and in a brilliant arc shot out and up, until she was only a tiny dot against the endless blue sky. She hovered there for a moment, and then she dropped again, barreling toward them at an impossible speed. At the last second, she slowed and dropped to her feet beside Ary, her wings snapping shut against her back. Her eyes were wild, her cheeks flushed pink and windblown, her smile so wide it threatened to split her face in half. Ary, Briar gasped. She clutched Ary's wrist, sending a nervous spark through her. It's so beautiful. Are we going to stand here all day? Sootflank interrupted. We have no idea what's out there, watching us, and I'd like to find some shelter considering the one we had is now a pile of dust. Briar looked at him crossly, but Sootflank simply glared right back. You can do your acrobatics later. The newt approached the edge of the windowsill. Little Mossheart, it's time. Ary nodded. Beside her, Owl clambered on top of Shrimp, clutching the pillbug's shell tightly as he eased them over the edge of the windowsill. Briar flipped back into the air and made it a point to float upside down with her tongue poking out at Sootflank before she vanished. Then it was only Sootflank, Ary, and Mama. Mama put a